And there is legislation in the United States Senate to get Flint, Michigan, $220 million to change all the infrastructure and lead pipes in that city. Although tonight, Senator Ted Cruz, who is running for president on the Republican ticket, is saying that he is going to put a hold, a soft hold is what they call it, on that legislation until he has an opportunity to read it. The fear is that Flint, Michigan is just a microcosm of what's happening all over America. No one's going to argue with the fact that our infrastructure is crumbling. Everything from roads to bridges to overloaded airports and an electrical grid that gets very little attention. That is and needs upgrading, no doubt. Now, there is plenty of concern, but the money just doesn't seem to flow to these problems. For more on that, let's turn to Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky of Chicago. Jan, good to see you.
Pleasure to see you.
What is happening? We just can't get money to where it needs to go. Even in a situation with Flint, there's political holdup, and it's almost like it doesn't matter about the need. They just won't get the money. Why?
Well, first of all, look at how it started. That to save a few bucks, they had a transfer from clean lake water to the Flint River, which many knew, including General Motors. They had stopped using that water because it was corroding the pipes. But this is emblematic of what is going on all over the country. I can tell you in my own district, there's lead in schools, Ed, and the American Association of Civil Engineers gave our infrastructure for schools a D because, and partly because we have paint falling from the ceilings. It's happening in one of my schools. We got them to paint the ceilings where it was falling down, and they did a test and found lead on the railings. And what was the answer? As long as the kids don't lick it, they should be just fine.
So why can't America get together politically on an infrastructure bill in a political year? Why is that just a dead conversation?
You would think it's about jobs. It's because of the great need. About a third of our roads really need major infrastructure building. It would put millions of people to work to do that. It would be good jobs that could provide people with a real living. You would think that infrastructure would be a top priority, but it's considered not investment, it's considered spending. And you know, we passed a $305 billion 5-year transportation bill, but again, the civil engineers say it would take about $3.4 trillion to really meet our infrastructure needs and transportation.
And that's with the Engineers Society saying that we have a massive amount of structurally deficient bridges in this country.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we're talking about 1 in 9 bridges in our country structurally deficient. I had one collapse in my district a couple of years ago, crushed a car with a husband and wife in it. They were found a couple days later under the bridge.
Well, it was 2007 that a bridge fell down in Minnesota and killed 13 people,
yes.
And the state had a big debate over what they were going to do about that. But this political divide in Washington hurts every family in America when we can't get money for infrastructure. We haven't built an airport in this country in 20 years.
But you know what? It's not just the families. Our country itself is really going downward if we don't maintain our infrastructure. Our infrastructure so that plants can move their goods around. I mean, It's our entire economy.
Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Ed, for
Thanks
focusing
so much
on this.
You bet.